money. That's the word that makes people's hearts beat faster, isn't it? You hear it, and suddenly your eyes widen, your mind races, your pulse quickens. Because money isn't just paper. No, it's the promise of freedom, the illusion of safety, the glittering key to every locked door you've ever stood outside of. Say the word billionaire, and the crowd leans in closer, as if just hearing it might sprinkle a little of that magic dust on them. Funny thing is, people worship wealth like it's divine, but they don't realize the cost of carrying it. Everyone thinks they want it, but not everyone is built for the weight of it. Wealth is a funny little trick, isn't it? It doesn't really change you. It just magnifies the person you already were in the shadows. Hand someone $1 billion, and suddenly you don't see a new man. You see the same man, only louder, more obvious, more exposed. The greedy become insatiable, the insecure become paranoid. The weak hide behind walls of gold, and the strong, they turn their fortune into a weapon, into a stage, into a throne. Wealth is a mirror with no filter, a reflection that cannot be blurred by excuses or hidden by poverty. When you had nothing, you could disguise yourself with talk of dreams and potential. But when you hold everything, there's no disguise left. Every choice, every indulgence, every cruelty, every act of generosity, it's all amplified by the sound of coins crashing to the floor. People like to think money is neutral, just paper, just numbers. But money is alive. It breathes with your fears and bleeds with your flaws. The rich man who builds hospitals was already compassionate when he was poor. The rich man who builds cages and fills them with desperate souls was already cruel before he could afford the locks. That's the little joke life plays. Fortune isn't about what you gain. It's about what you reveal. Because the second your pockets overflow, everyone around you starts watching, waiting, dissecting your every move. They aren't really curious about you. They're curious about the monster, or the savior, or the fraud hiding underneath the mask you wore when you were broke. And wealth rips that mask clean off. You ever notice how people treat you differently the moment they think you've got money? Suddenly, every smile feels like a transaction. Every handshake feels like a contract. Every compliment feels like bait. But here's the punchline. It's not just them that changes. You change too. You start questioning who's real, who's lying, who's here for you, and who's here for the treasure chest you're sitting on. And the more you question, the more paranoid you become. Reaches amplify suspicion until it becomes a second language you can't stop speaking. And once you start doubting everyone else, you start doubting yourself too. Did you really earn it? Do you really deserve it? Or are you just the fool who got lucky and now has to play the part of a genius to keep the audience entertained? Wealth exposes greed, but it also exposes fear. You'd think money makes you free, but often it chains you tighter than poverty ever could. When you're broke, you've got nothing to lose. When you're rich, you've got everything to lose, and the world knows it. People watch your steps, your choices, your weaknesses. They circle like vultures, waiting for you to trip so they can strip the flesh of your reputation. That's the truth of fortune. It doesn't make you untouchable. It paints a bigger target on your back. And when everyone is aiming at you, who you really are comes spilling out in the panic. Some fight, some run. Some laugh in the face of the arrows flying. But you don't know which one you'll be until the wealth lands in your lap. Think about it. You can't hide behind excuses when you're rich. You can't say, I couldn't help, I didn't have enough, because now you do. You can't pretend to be humble when the world bows at your feet. You can't pretend to be generous when you hoard more than you'll ever need. You can't pretend to be loyal when temptation taps on your window every night. Wealth forces you into the spotlight, and in that light, your real nature stands naked for everyone to see. That's why it's dangerous. Not because of what it gives you, but because of what it forces out of you. So the real question isn't, what would I do if I became rich? No. The real question is, who am I when I'm stripped of excuses? Because wealth is the great amplifier, and once it starts broadcasting your true self to the world, you can't turn down the volume. The only thing left is to watch if the crowd cheers, or if they laugh while you burn. Power doesn't always arrive with a crown or a throne. Sometimes it sneaks in quietly, hidden in opportunities, in decisions, in the way people suddenly lean in closer when you speak. Power is slippery, like smoke, like fire. You can't quite hold it, but it clings to you all the same. And when it finally wraps around your fingers, it changes the way you see everything. The streets don't look the same. The faces around you, You don't feel the same. Even your reflection in the mirror doesn't look the same. That's because power is a distortion lens, bending reality, bending perception, bending you. You don't notice it at first, not until you catch yourself enjoying how silence falls when you walk into a room. People like to think power corrupts. No, that's too simple, too easy. Power doesn't corrupt, it exposes. It peels back your skin, strips away your excuses, and shows the raw nerve of who you truly are. The timid man who hides in the shadows. Give him power, and suddenly you'll see the tyrant inside him grinning. The kind woman who gives away her last coin. Give her power, and she'll build a sanctuary no one else dared to dream of. Power doesn't make you someone else. It amplifies what you were already hiding. And once the mask is gone, once everyone sees the truth of you, there's no putting it back on. That's why so many fear power. Not because they'll abuse it, but because they'll be revealed by it. You ever notice how power changes the air in a room? The way people sit straighter, the way their voices soften, the way laughter dies down into nervous smiles. It's intoxicating, isn't it? That silent control, that invisible grip you hold without even touching anyone. But here's the trick. Power doesn't just change them, it changes you too. You start expecting the silence, craving the respect, needing the obedience. And soon, you forget what it feels like to be questioned, challenged, ignored. You forget the chaos of being ordinary. That's when power becomes poison. Not because it destroys you instantly, but because it feeds you slowly. Makes you dependent, makes you weak without it. But let's not lie. Power is also a test of restraint, of vision, of honesty with yourself. Because when the world kneels at your feet, the temptation to step on their backs is almost irresistible. Why not? They gave you the crown, didn't they? They handed you the scepter. Surely they want you to use it. But that's the illusion. Power given can be power taken. The same crowd that cheers your name today will sharpen their knives tomorrow if you stumble. That's the danger of standing above everyone else. The fall is much longer, much louder, and much bloodier, and yet people crave it. They dream of being in control, of bending others to their will, of shaping the world with their words. But what they don't realize is that power demands a price. Every decision you make echoes farther than you think. Every choice carves scars into people you'll never meet. The smallest flick of your wrist can ripple through the lives of strangers, creating storms you'll never see. That's the weight of it. That's the burden. You're not just living your life anymore. You're shaping the lives of everyone caught in your orbit. And the question is, are you strong enough to carry the weight without being crushed by it? Power reveals greed, but it also reveals weakness. It shows you where you bend, where you break, where you lie to yourself to keep the crown steady on your head. It drags out your secrets, your fears, your selfish desires, until they're laid bare under the spotlight for all to see. And when that happens, when you're finally naked under the gaze of the world, there's no going back to who you were. That's the irreversible trick of it. Once you've tasted power, the hunger never leaves. So imagine it now, not just having it, but holding it, feeling it pulse in your veins like lightning. Imagine how it would twist you, test you, transform you. Would you build? Would you destroy? Would you lead? Or would you burn it all just to prove you could? Because power is the stage. And once you step onto it, everyone is watching, waiting, hoping to see what kind of monster or savior you really are. Wealth, it's a funny thing. People chase it like dogs chasing cars, panting, sweating, clawing at the ground, hoping to catch it before it speeds away. And when they finally sink their teeth into it, they don't know what to do. They tear at it, they cling to it, they parade it like a trophy. But wealth isn't a trophy. It's a mirror. It doesn't change you, it shows you. You think money makes you free. No. Money just strips away your excuses. Without it, you say, I can't because I don't have enough. With it, you have no reason left not to act. And that's when the truth of who you are gets revealed. You see, wealth whispers to you at first. It tells you you're safe now, you can breathe, you can relax. But soon the whisper becomes a laugh, and the laugh becomes a demand. Wealth doesn't just want to sit in your pockets. No, it wants to own you. It wants to dictate how you walk, how you talk, how you measure your worth against everyone else. And people fall for it every single time. They think they have wealth, when in reality, wealth has them. Look at them, parading around in polished shoes, hiding behind shiny cars, fragile smiles plastered on their faces. One market crash, one twist of fate, and suddenly their laughter turns into begging. That's the joke of it. The thing they thought made them untouchable becomes the very thing that exposes how fragile they really are. But wealth is also a test, isn't it? Just like power. Some people use it to build walls, to shield themselves from the world. Others use it to build ladders, dragging people up alongside them. Same tool, different outcome. But the tool itself is dangerous because wealth feeds greed like gasoline feeds fire. The more you pour, the bigger it burns, the hungrier it gets. And the hungrier it gets, the more it consumes your time, your mind, your relationships. Before long, wealth isn't just what you have, it's who you are. You're not John or Sarah or anyone else anymore. You're a number on a list, a figure in a bank, a statistic that can be erased in a second. And yet, people worship it. They kneel before it, sacrifice their health for it, kill their dreams to keep it. They'll work themselves into dust, grind their bones down, all for numbers on a screen that never hug them back, never wipe their tears, never truly save them. Funny, isn't it? How something that isn't even real, not paper, not metal, not digital signals, can command more loyalty than flesh and blood. People betray families for it. They sell their souls for it. They bow to it as if it were a god. And when they finally have it, they're emptier than when they started. But here's the real trick. Wealth magnifies loneliness. The higher you climb, the quieter it gets. Suddenly, every handshake feels hollow. Every smile feels suspicious. Every compliment comes with a price tag hidden underneath. When you're poor, you wonder who you can trust. When you're wealthy, you wonder if you can trust anyone at all. And that gnaws at you. That eats away at you more than hunger ever did. Because hunger, at least, is honest. Loneliness. That's a parasite that digs deep into your chest and doesn't let go. Wealth also creates an illusion of control. You think you can buy safety, buy time, buy loyalty, but safety slips, time runs, and loyalty cracks the moment someone else offers a bigger check. That's when you realize money doesn't buy loyalty. It only rents it. And the rent is due every single day. One late payment, one slip. And the very people who smiled at your table will be the first to stab you in the back. That's the cruel comedy of wealth. It never belongs to you. You only borrow it from fate. And fate has a wicked sense of humor. It gives with one hand, takes with the other. One moment you're counting your riches, the next you're counting your losses. People think wealth is security. No. Wealth is a gamble. Every coin you stack is just another bet placed against time, against chaos, against the inevitability that everything you build will one day crumble. And deep down, even the richest know this. That's why they hoard, why they panic, why they can't sleep at night. They're not protecting their wealth. They're trying to protect themselves from the truth that wealth can't protect anyone. So here's the laugh: wealth is the mask everyone wants, the one they believe will make them whole. But when they finally put it on, they realize it doesn't fit. It never fit, and it was never meant to. Because wealth isn't salvation. It's a test, a trick, a spotlight. It doesn't change the stage. It just shows the world exactly who you've been all along. Success, oh, that glittering word people chase as if it were oxygen. They think it's a finish line, a golden medal waiting to be hung around their necks, a crowd cheering as they cross. But here's the twist. Success isn't a finish line at all. It's a mirror, a stage, a magnifying glass. You don't arrive at success. You arrive at yourself. And that's what terrifies most people, because when the applause fades, the cameras switch off, and the stage lights dim, you're left staring into the reflection of everything you've become. Some can't stand what they see, so they bury themselves deeper in noise. More work,